Shall we start? Yes. Okay. So, hello everyone. Good evening. Today we have a guest with us, Shwetha. So, we will get to know about Shwetha and the agenda of this session today, right? So, this is a speaker session we have planned for today, and it is very exciting. And we all are curious to know about Shwetha and the organization she works for. So, let's start with that. So, Shwetha, hi. Welcome to our session today.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening. Good evening,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah. So, Shweta, we are from Rotary, right? Rotary Bangalore Abilities is our club name.
Okay.
And we have met your organization. Last week, we met your organization coordinator. And then from there, we got to know that there is such a wonderful organization which works for so many good things. So, I don't want to talk about anything. I want to hear from you before we start about anything, hearing from your organization point of view. I would
Yeah.
like to just request you to introduce yourself in a couple of lines so that we will get to know you first, then we'll deep dive into the organization.
Okay, sure. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Shwetha, and I'm from Bangalore. And at the Inclusion Movement, which is the NGO that we're going to find out about, I take care of NGO partnerships. And I joined in January, but before that, as a student, I just finished my master's in psychology. And yeah, I like reading, I like watching movies, I like traveling.
Oh,
And yeah.
that's nice. Good hobbies.
Yeah.
All are full of activities, right?
Yeah.
Mental or physical. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and I've been volunteering also for almost 5 years now. So now I think the inclusion movement started off from last year, June. Before that, it was mainly under Smileys India. So I've been volunteering with both.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah. Thanks, Shweta, for that nice introduction about you. So we know about you now. So we would like to know about the organization you work for, right? So that is Inclusion Movement.
Yes.
Yeah. So the title of the organization, the name of the organization itself is very fascinating. Inclusion Movement, right? It's
Yes.
very powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I definitely have a hint about it, how powerful it is. But yeah, so can we know something about it? What is that organization about or NGO about,
Yeah.
and what exactly we are into?
Yes. Sure. So, the inclusion movement, like I said, was started in June last year. Before that, we used to, it is a volunteering organization, and before that, we used to function under the name of Smileys India itself. But under Smileys India, it was more of an open volunteering. Here, it is a little more structured, and some of the activities that we do is also different. But like the name suggests, the inclusion movement, we do work towards inclusion of people with disabilities, and we work with all kinds of disabilities. Mostly we have intellectual, but we do have deaf, hearing impairment, visual impairment, and all of that. And so one of the main goals that we work towards is towards developing the social circle of people with disability. And we partner with different NGOs and special schools, and we mainly conduct something called a long-term volunteering program, where we conduct weekend activities during either Saturday or a Sunday, depends on the NGO. But we support the NGO in the weekend volunteering program. So the structure of that program, it depends based on each NGO and the school, based on what their requirement is. But in terms of structure, we have mainly we've divided it into three areas, if I can say. One, we support them in terms of curricular related activities. It could be educational support. It could be like, where we help them with different subjects, or even before their exams, we help them prepare for it. And it's kind of like an after school thing. Whatever they do during the weekdays from Monday to Friday, we support that learning during the weekends on Saturdays or Sundays. And we also have co-curricular activities where we support them in teaching dance, games, theater, art and craft. So all of these. And other than that, we also focus on life skills, social behavior, and we do a lot of exposure related activities as well, where it could be either one, some NGOs, if we do it, we do kind of like a simulation in the center itself. But other than that, if required, maybe we take them to a supermarket or maybe a mall or maybe a metro station, how to take a metro, go to some place and come back, and all of that. So all of these activities are with support from the volunteers itself. So we do a 1:1 buddy system where every student we assign one volunteer, and it again depends on what kind of disability it is and the age of the student, how many students are there in the NGO. But this is a general thing that we follow. And other than that, we also do career related activities for older students, where we have one a mentoring program where we assign them a volunteer who stays with them as a mentor throughout. And other than that, we also have mock interviews, preparing for jobs, applying them the skills that are required, all of that. But this is mostly for older students. And so these are the three areas that we have for the weekend volunteering program. And we take a minimum of 3 hours for each NGO. So it can either happen from 9 to 12 or 10 to 1. And for we have different volunteers in each center. So the number again varies from each center. The kind of activities that we do also varies. In some, the structures provided by the NGO itself. So we just help them carrying it out. So this is one of our major programs, which is the weekend volunteering program. And other than that, we also conduct exposure visits. So these exposure visits can, again, it varies based on what the NGO also requires, but it includes visits to the Vishveshwaraya Museum. We had Museum of Art and Photography. We've also started Indian music experience. And we also have Kaban Park, Bal Bhavan, all of those activities around Kaban Park. And we also have some treks and trails that we do. So again, depending on the age, we choose the trek. So at an easy and moderate level, we usually take them to the Bannerghatta hills, and it's a small half day kind of trek. And if they are willing to do maybe a little higher level, then we take them near Ramnagar. So that is also there. And exposure visits, these are some of the things that we have done as of now, but again, based on the NGOs and their requests, we add and subtract. So some require, like give them an experience of what it's like to go to a railway station, a bus stop, police station, post office. So all of that, we do exposure activities to these centers also. Like I said, it all of these depends on the requirement of the NGO and the special school. And one more thing that we do is we support all of our centers in terms of volunteer requirement. So many NGOs, you have all of these annual days, sports days, and any kind of event that comes up, we send volunteers to support their events. And yeah, I think these three are kind of one of our major things in terms of how we support the NGOs, organizations, and special schools. But other than that, we ourselves conduct a lot of festivals and activities. So one of our major festivals happens in December, and it's called Tandav, which is an inclusive dance festival. It is a full day festival that's created for the students itself. So we have around 700 to 1,000 students who come up, and we conduct different dance workshops. And some happen in groups, some happen together. We also take some performances from them. And it's mostly a celebration of dance. Through dance, we celebrate inclusion. And this is not a competition as such. This is just to celebrate inclusion, that we bring all of them together. And we have a lot of programs designed around that. But other than that, almost every alternate month, we have different events that come up. So some could be related to competitions itself. So in art, dance, singing, theater, fashion show, all of those. It's like a proper fest that happens. So these we conduct at least twice a year. But some also, like, now colleges and all have come up requesting they want to conduct one. So for their experience also, we support them in conducting some festivals. And other than that, we have some festivals that we create only for, say, visually impaired students. So all the activities is created for them. And yeah, each or every alternate month, something or the other will keep happening. And I think next this month, around 24th, 25th, we have another festival, but this is just to celebrate volunteering and it's mainly for volunteers itself. So yeah, this is kind of an overall, I can say.
Yeah, oh my God. So that's many, right? So I have many questions around it.
Yes, sure.
I'm even more curious now after listening to all
You.
this. So
Yes,
I heard, so the festival which you're talking about this month is on 24th and 25th, if I'm
yes,
not wrong.
yes.
Bibli
It's called Vibe Festival.
Vibe Fest. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard about it.
Yes,
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah. So I want to know a few more things now. First thing
yes,
is
sure.
like all these activities or whatever you are conducting, this is only for people with disabilities, any disability, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you say NGOs, you go and help the NGOs or it can be any school or it can be any individual group of persons with disabilities or anything like that, or is there any specification there that they have to be signed up or they have to have this government certificate?
No, ma'am, no, no, nothing like that. So as of now, we've mainly got it through all NGOs and special schools. As of
Okay.
now, individual registration as such, it doesn't really come.
Okay.
Individual, if there's some support, then I mean, volunteers, we have enough, right? Our strength is volunteers. So if individual requests come, then we do take it up. But the long-term volunteering program is something, like I said, because like the goal that we work towards is to build that social circle, right? So that will happen over a course of time, right? That is why we have, it's called the long term volunteering program. So every week the volunteers are going, engaging with the students and conducting different activities. So that's why we do the long term thing. But other than that, we also get one time volunteer like events like the job
Yeah.
fair that happened.
Yes.
Also, different things come up like that. So we do provide volunteer support for that as well, but it's mostly for people with disability itself.
Okay, okay. So, in case, for an example, any individual person with disability reach out for any support, so
Yeah.
that is also provided.
Yes, sure, ma'am. So we receive a lot of requests like that. So I think scribes, I think, is one of the biggest ones. I think around exams and all of that, we receive a lot of requests
Right.
for scribes. So that we do arrange for that. So that we just put it across in our groups, and someone will volunteer, and that it'll just go based on that.
Okay. And in case if individuals need any help in, like how you said, you will conduct the exposure activities,
Yeah.
experience activities like that. In case
Yeah.
if some individual need help in moving around or completing their some of the tasks, maybe it can be a government office they want to visit or they want to go for a simple shopping, a fun time, or something like that. So these kind of activities also is in are included or not yet explored.
So they no we so we haven't, it's not a formal thing. So every time what happens, we do get requests like this. So we
Yeah.
pass it around in the group, and whoever volunteers, when they say okay, I am ready to do this, then it goes in based on that. So our involvement to, like, get it done to the end, ours won't be that much. But the volunteers, if we pass it on, it usually happens like that. They themselves say okay, I'm comfortable to do this, we send
Okay.
the contact, and it becomes a thing between both of them, so they can coordinate and all of that.
Okay, okay. So which is the most recent one or something which you can give us an example that individual request has come which the organization has supported?
Yesterday or day before, yes, we got a request for a scribe itself.
Okay,
So, yeah.
okay, okay. So
Scribe,
that,
I think, is a very common thing. Exams keep happening somewhere or the other. Degree students, UG, school.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, even for some competitive exams, people
Yeah,
go for.
yeah, competitive exams also, yes.
Yeah, okay, that's nice. So this is from the from the point of view of what are the services you provide or what are the activities you support. So now I'm curious to know, like, you have a big pool of volunteers, right?
Yeah.
So how these things are working in the organization? Like, just curious to know about that. How these things work.
So, main volunteer sourcing as of now has been happening through social media itself. I think our so from Smileys to even our founders, which is Vishnu, Vishal, and Vidushi are our founders,
Yeah.
and from the Instagram page of the inclusion movement itself, most of the volunteer sourcing happens through that. Then
Okay.
again, now suggestions also, like I call some friends, so all of that also happens.
Okay.
And most is from this, but some we also get from colleges as well. I think now, as in terms of internships, has become a big thing now in colleges, right? It's become a requirement from academics itself. So, one, we do get volunteers from colleges and interns also from colleges. And now we also have a school that has partnered with us, that is that they wanted their students to come and volunteer with us.
Oh,
We
nice.
have some students also coming in. And how they come into the system is that, like I said, right, Smileys were more of an open structure. Here it is not that way. So because we're also working with people with disabilities, and not everyone is that sensitive about how to treat them and what kind of
Yeah.
how to just treat, like, some of the things that they need to take care of, and to sensitize them and bring awareness is very important,
Right.
because it's not something that everyone is pretty aware of.
Right.
So, we have a induction program that happens. So, it's mostly a half day to full day event where we have some activities, some theory, we have some sensitization activities as well. So that without that induction, we do not let them volunteer with any of the centers or anything. For events, as of now, because events, it comes as a huge request and it's kind of sudden also, like we don't have that much time. We do a online induction itself, just brief them, and then we send them to the activities. But for
Okay.
the volunteer weekend volunteering programs and working with the centers, we make sure they are inducted. Only after that is when we transfer them and assign the centers to them.
Okay.
And even in these centers, so we have different layers. So we have the volunteers, and then we also have volunteer coordinators, who we call it super volunteers. So the super volunteers are assigned in each of these centers. And even say we have an event or maybe an exposure visit, we have a super volunteer who's assigned for that. So
Okay.
for the criteria of a super volunteer, we make sure that they have volunteers at least for a minimum of 3 months.
Okay.
They should have volunteered in any of these centers so that they have that experience. And then once we feel okay, one, we do send out forms for them itself to apply. But in case we do find out that this person has the capacity to take up a center and to lead the activities there, we ask them to become the super volunteer. So they take care. We have a curriculum that is kind of set, like how we have syllabus that comes for schools, right? We have
Yeah.
designed a curriculum for each of our centers, and this curriculum again is co-created with the center and us. And so for some, they said they're open to anything that we do, so we come up with the curriculum. But this curriculum, the super volunteer mainly takes it up.
Okay.
Minimum that we do is a 3 month curriculum, but some we do for a year as well. And
Okay.
even for these super volunteers to coordinate among them, we also have a higher thing called community coordinators. So they take care of each of these super volunteers and planning of the events, coming up with the groups, all of that.
Okay, that's nice. So, a quick time check. Yeah, we have another 5 minutes. Okay, so one last question from my end. Then we will open it for Q&A if anybody has any more curiosity than me to ask anything.
Yeah.
So, one last thing. So, all these volunteers, what we are sourcing, right? So, all these are all just like a freelancing. They just come and go, or they are employed into the inclusion movement NGO or something like that. How it is?
So, they're still volunteers. So most of the volunteers, some are students like from college, some are working professionals as well.
Hmm.
Um, they, they are still coming to the system as volunteers itself. But
Okay.
so something like I said, right, the long-term volunteering program to build that social circle, like it won't happen if you just come and go. So we like that minimum 3 months commitment is something that we take from all of the volunteers.
Okay.
And yeah, so they come in as volunteers and they are volunteers in the system as
Oh.
well. They
So
don't,
they are not the employees of
no,
inclusion.
no, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So mostly whoever is working with inclusion movement, everyone is a volunteer, not the employee, right? That's how it is, right?
No, I mean, I am working with the inclusion movement.
Okay,
So we not such a big team as such.
okay,
So yeah, we have me and there's another person. So I take care of NGO partnerships, and these all come into the core functioning of
ah,
organization. But these others, everyone is volunteers. The super volunteers, community coordinators are it's
okay.
volunteering itself.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, I think with that, I am done with my curious questions. So we can open it for the Q&A if somebody has anything to ask for Shweta. Anybody has any question for Shweta?
I have one.
Yeah,
So, Shweta, it was wonderful to know about the activities which inclusive movement does. So, have you ever tried one-day trips or trips outside Bangalore where the duration is a little longer?
yes, ma'am. So as of now, we've done 1 day trips with the NGOs. We've taken them to Mysore, Ramnagar,
Oh,
and close by areas itself. Longer ones we haven't done as of now because most organizations that we do are school students, where again the parents haven't been comfortable. But we have done camps like staying over in now in one center. They're open to having us, so we've done camps where we go and say like a Friday night and stay over for a day and then we come back. And with the students, we've done like all of these. We haven't done an overnight trip as such. 1 day trips have happened.
okay. And just an extension to this question.
Yeah,
So, in case some of us plan for an outing, say a one night stay, some of our women folk, some
yeah,
just want to go out for
yeah,
some couple of days,
yeah,
one day night stay. So,
yeah.
usually such events or a one day outing also,
Hmm.
how are the expenses managed?
Yes, and so one thing is for most of the outings, and so in terms of transport and the entrance fee, all of that. So when we take in that collaborations, like we get the ticket free of cost. Ticket charges are most of the times not involved. As of now, everywhere where we partner, they've let us for free itself, like Museum of Art and Photography, IME, all of that. Second, for in terms of transport, we have, like I said, the school that we have a school that has been supporting us in terms of transport and venue. So again, so these collaborations is mainly how we do it. In terms of whether if there is a cost that is involved, then we raise it to the volunteers itself. So it, in terms of food, and it's usually food itself that the cost comes in, and food, and if it's an overnight thing, there's a stay. Usually, even for stay, we have as of now had people who have sponsored for us, so they themselves are open to us going and doing it. So camping and all, as of now, it's one like the school, either we've done it with their students, so they then let us go. But even otherwise, for volunteers, we've done overnight and 2 days stay and all of that. So they have been kind enough to support us with the space itself. So we've gone camping and all of that only in terms of maybe some tents. If we've done some with tents, so with tents we do it with volunteers itself. We take it for rent and do all these minimal costs that we get it from the volunteers itself.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that was a wonderful question. We get to know more.
Yeah, so so these collaborations, that's what we work toward. As of now, I think based on at least the requests that we've got, most we've had collaborations that have worked where they have not much cost is involved. Only food maybe a little is the only place where we've had expenses, but we have also caterer also who gives nice food for like nominal prices. So as of now, that's what is set. So our festivals, and even for the festivals, we have a camp for the volunteers and all we've done. So these and all have gone good. But like you said, if you guys are interested to organize one, then we would be more than happy to do that.
Sure, sure. Yeah, that's really. And the festival which you are talking about, that is open for everyone or for the volunteers?
No, it is open for everyone. There is a registration link. I can share it with you. I
Sure,
can get them to send it to you, and you can share it across.
sure, sure. We'll do that. Yeah, that's wonderful. So, any other question for Shweta? So just to give a context, maybe I would have given in the beginning for our club members. So the Inclusion Movement is an organization who helped us in our jobathon last week. Wonderful volunteers group. They were very helpful and very caring, and even we got feedback from a couple of students directly that volunteers were very caring and very professional. Everything was so well managed and everything. So we were curious to know more about the organization who provided volunteers. As and when we require any number of volunteers we require, the organization was ready to provide. So that's where we got to know them, and Shweta is here with us. So that's the context. So any question for her? Last 1 minute. We'll just check if there is any question. Otherwise, we can wrap it up. Okay, looks like there is no more questions, Shweta. You have covered everything. So, do you want to ask anything? Do you want to know anything about us, or do you have any questions for us, Shweta?
Ma'am, so I think so even Vidushi also wanted to know. So, what are some of the areas that we can look at collaborating with you? Is one thing that we wanted to know.
Okay. So, Kameshwari, do you want to comment on that? So, we have to now explore, as per my understanding. Now we heard you. So, we will definitely sit back and discuss on all these activities. And definitely, that is one of our goals to collaborate with Inclusion Movement and do as much as possible. So that is one thing. So now that's the main reason we wanted any one of you to come and talk to our team, so that everyone will brainstorm now and we will find out the ways where we can collaborate and work together.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So, or anybody else, or Kameshwari, Arun, if you have anything on top of your mind right now, we can tell. Otherwise, yeah, we'll anyways get back to Shweta on that.
Yeah, so basically, as Pinky already mentioned, we wanted to understand the organization in more detail. And now we can actually do a little bit of brainstorming because most of our members in the club are persons with disabilities. So usually, whenever we want to go out, not only from a club perspective, but from a personal perspective as well. So
Yeah.
we have our own challenges, right? So now, since we have understood the various programs you have, we can actually think about how we can collaborate and reach out to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we even do, Shweta, we do all these events throughout the year, right? So recent one was, as I mentioned, the Jobathon. We had Job Mela. So
Yes.
that is one of the events we conduct every year. So like that, we have many. Like we will have our installation. We will have our Teachers' Day celebration. We recognize and award, provide give award to the teachers who are working in the field of um, empowering people with disabilities. We recognize them every year. We do that as part of Teachers Day. And then we even have IDPD celebrations where we recognize the unsung heroes, the people with disability who have done a lot, but they were not recognized, or that is not identified. So we find out that kind of people and we award them as well. So we have many activities throughout the year as part of Rotary Club. So we may definitely require volunteer support there, or you guys can also tell us how can we collaborate and what can we do for you guys, how you
Yeah.
guys want us to help you. So you can also let us know.
Yes, sure, ma'am. So I just wanted to add one more thing because you asked the question about individual requests, right? Like, so if, say, for example, I need some help with something, maybe go
Yeah.
shopping or something like that.
Yeah.
So that is the long-term goal that we're looking at. So we have something called the buddy project. The buddy system is something that we work on where every student gets a buddy who is a volunteer from our system itself. And
Mhm.
yes, we initiate it through the school and the parents because that's how we get to meet them and connect with them, right? But long term, something that we're looking at is that evolves. So they have anytime they become like a friend, and anytime they want to reach out, they need anyone to just talk to or do some, maybe go out and watch a movie or go to a mall, something like that. They know they have that one person. So that is the long term thing that we are looking at.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
Wonderful vision that is. Yeah. So that's the actual main requirement of people with disability, right? So not all the time they will have support for them.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's a long time and very essential requirement they always have.
yeah,
Which can make them independent also, and
yeah,
they'll get an opportunity to explore more things than sitting and waiting for some support, then exploring world, right?
yeah,
So they'll get this
exactly.
opportunity if this is the wonderful vision that is there.
Yeah.
So please let us know in this vision as well, or anything you guys are planning new or ongoing things where we can support as a Rotary Club. You guys
Oh,
also let
sure.
us know.
Yes, sure, ma'am, definitely.
Yeah. And that's it from my side. If nothing else is there, thanks a lot, Shweta, for your time. And
No problem.
patiently you
Fact,
explained everything.
Pinky,
And yeah, Harun.
Pinky, I would personally like to thank Shweta.
Yeah.
The volunteers who came for the jobathon were fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for sending those. It was really helpful for all of us for conducting the jobathon in a very successful manner. And we are sure looking at the other projects where we we would like to be associated with the organization, and where now we know that there is somebody that we can look forward to when we need a
Yes, yes.
volunteer, and we know, okay, we'll contact Shweta and say, please Shweta, we need some people from your
Yes,
side. So
definitely. So, like I said, right now, when individual requests come, we don't have to worry about it at all. We always send someone, always says, I'm ready to do it, I can go for it. So, that's why, as an organization, that hasn't become one program as such. We know we have, like, our strength for us is volunteers itself. And yeah, anytime you have, you can reach out to
yeah,
us.
I'm seriously telling you, during Jobathon, we had couple of volunteers, not couple of volunteers, we had a lot of volunteers, but the main, lot of people from your organization who were there. It was fabulous. Yeah, every person who had come for the jobathon were like, wow, you guys did a fantastic job because of the volunteers who were there. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, Shweta, and we're
Yeah.
so
One
looking
last
forward.
question, just
Yes, yes.
sorry for cutting out. But what's the best way of reaching out to you? Is there, I mean, we reached out through a form which Pinky filled.
Okay.
So can we add that link in the description when we post this on YouTube?
Yeah, sure. So, one that form I think that you would have gotten was mainly for any events, for example, right?
Yeah.
So, for us, we do a briefing for the volunteers and our sourcing, all of that happens for the event, right? So, for us to get all of the details, to make it a formal and a structured thing, we do a filling of the form. But anytime you just want to reach out to any of us, I think you would have had Vidushi's number.
Yeah.
Or I can also send in my number to one of you. So, yeah, Vinushi will take it. Like, so we have couple of us, one of us will take it up. So you can
Okay.
just call any one
Will
of
be
us.
really big help for all of us. You know, especially for a club like us, where most of us are a person with disability. You know, having a volunteer to come out and help, saying, "You guys do the project, we'll help you." So makes
Yeah,
a lot of difference for us as a club also. So thank you
yeah,
so much,
Yeah.
Shweta.
no
And
problem.
Shweta, we can like as you asked, right? So wherever schools or NGOs where you guys go for volunteering activities, so if you can just post some of the schools or organizations where you help people and all, we can also think about doing some project in their school, or if there is any requirement, we can help that group or kids. So we can do some project in that school itself or that NGO itself where you guys are doing volunteer activities. So that way also we can collaborate. So just keep us posted about few things what you guys have done or are doing, so that
Yeah,
we will have something handy to
yeah,
think
sure.
about it.
Okay, fine, sure, ma'am. So, I think Arjun also has your contact. I'll
Yes,
ask you to share it.
sure.
So, Kudoshi, yes, I know you have, so you can reach out to any of them. So one of us will always be available. If they're not, they'll pass it on to someone. So I'll also I'll take your number from him if that's okay, and I'll share the
Yes,
numbers
please.
and centers with you.
Sure, sure, sure. Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, Shweta. It was wonderful having you with us. And once again, thanks to your organization for doing this fabulous job. It's a noble one.
Thank you so
That's
much,
it.
man. Amazing.
Thank you so much, Shweta. It was a pleasure meeting you and listening to you.
Same here.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
So, Commissioner, we can stop the recording.
Yeah, done already.
Okay. Sure. So I think we are done with the speaker session. Shweta, if you are okay, then feel free to drop. Then thanks again.